started with a problem actually. In our area, we are very close to Russia. Back in the end of the 80s, the first fishermen start getting this monster in the nets. This is a king crab was taken from Kamchatka and put as eggs and larvae into the Murmansk fjord, not far from here. And from there it's moving, literally walking, to our fjords. We were running a factory with the fish and salmon, and they asked us, what is this? It's destroying the nets, and it's huge, and it's totally stranger. And when we asked the scientific people, they could tell us then what species this is, but we didn't knew that this was a jewel like this. It was so tasty and so demanded in the market. It didn't start with a possibility for doing business, not at all. It started with a problem and ended up with here. In the year 1994, that was the first year we made a production line for king crab. Before that, he had only made home cooking and so on. So from that year, that was the start of a commercial business of king crab. In this season, I think it will be around 500 vessels participating in the fishery. That means that each vessel have around 5 tons and they can use the time they want. So they go out in the morning and bring in 5, 6, 7 hours later the freshest crab you can imagine. The boats have been around from 7 to 12 meters and only one man. So it's quite risky also. But the good thing is that there are so many of the vessels. So they can help each other in many ways, and they have to do it during the winter. Every winter we have accidents. They have these computers, so that is the easiest part to find it. The tough part is to get it on board and then make new bites and find the places where they can find the crab. The fishermen get a high price for that, for the quality they bring, and it is handmade all. And Norway has not, I think, has the most expensive salaries in Europe. So it is rather demanding cost-wise for production. But then again, it is a very nice product. Each vessel has a quota now in kilo. I think it's 5,500 kilo. And they can use 30 pots. And we ask for only the largest and the best quality. So there is a selection. I think if one pot gives 100 crab, the fishermen put back to sea 80 of them and keep only the 20 best, the largest and the most best meat fill and the cleanest shell. The season lasts you have September, October, November, December, even January they can fish. In October or in November we have no sun. For November, December and January it's all dark and it's icy, it's cold, it's waves, so it's I think the fishermen earn what they can get of this king crab. They really deserve all the money because it's tough fishery. They do the first selection on board at sea, and then when they're coming to our pier we do the next selection, and approximately 20% we give back to the fisherman and he has to put it back at sea, and it does not reduce his quota. And we reject to take them because of low meat content, broken leg, what the fishermen cannot see at sea. And then we start production, and even after these 2 selections, we have a third selection that take around 15% away, what we call the second grade class. And then we have finally the Varanger quality brand, what we all are producing in the membership. It's 9 producers doing exactly the same selection. So when we have checked the quality of live king crab and sorted out the sizes and the quality, we start the processing, and it's always done after demand from the market. So at the moment today we are producing raw section for Japan and cooked section for Europe. Mostly it's raw. And then we also produce whole king crab for the gift market in Europe and Japan, whole raw, whole cooked, and also sizes from 200 gram intervals. So I think all of the king crab production in Finnmark is done very after the specification from each customer. It's a very global product. We have customers in Dubai, in Singapore, in Taiwan, in Japan, in Europe, and each customer has its speciality they want us to do for them. Production time from live king crab to raw selection freezed is around 12 hours. We glaze it also properly, so the water is protecting, so we can have a shelf time of 24 months. We dip it in the cold ice water 2 times. So the glazing, according to the quality manual, has to be from 8 to 15%. But the net weight, that's what you are paying for always. It's normally even better when you have frozen it before. It doesn't stick to the shell that much. Fresh do stick to the shell. It's harder to get the meat out. If it's been frozen once and then you steam it, it's easier to take it out from the shell, the meat. If we protect this and taking around 20% every year of the total population, we will have king crab in many, many years. For sure we don't get rid of it.